Hello, welcome once again to the glorious Peak District. Back out on a glorious sunny day in September. Total contrast from yesterday. It looks like we've hit lucky. So we're currently heading up Ringing Roger from Edale. We're heading in that direction. I say we, I'm out with Paul again today, and hopefully we'll be meeting Adrian later on tonight at our destination, which is I've forgotten where we're going now. Fairbrook Naze, that's where we're camping tonight, hopefully, all being well, and Adrian's hoping to join us up there later on. So we're thinking we're going to pick a route straight across the plateau. My usual favoured route would be around the edge of the plateau, past the downfall and out that way, but today we're going to go direct. Paul uses a Harvey's map, and he's noticed there's a partial route that's not marked on the OS across the centre of the plateau, so we're going to have a bash at getting across there. But right now, head down and to the top, because I'm shattered. Bye for now. Well, what can I say? Kinder Scout behind me. We've just come across the middle of the plateau, just followed the groughs and eventually picked our way across. I think you've probably just seen a little bit of footage of me standing down in a great big deep groove. And now we're on the northern edge of the plateau. So behind me you can see the wonderful, I love this part of Kinder, it's amazing. So I'll see if I can remember where we're at. So we've got Blackton Edge along here, I think. Down there in the bottom of the valley is Blackton Barn, and then we're going along Seal Stones, which goes on to Seal Edge, and then Fairbrook Naze beyond, which is where we're going to camp tonight. I just love it over here. You can just see the Snake Pass, which I believe is the A57. I think I'm right saying that. Just running down behind the barn there. I just love it over here. It's beautiful because it's not busy. We've just come over from Edale, and it's chock-a-block over there. You can't get parked in Edale. You're queuing up for parking spaces everywhere. They've got the overspill car parks open. It's chock-a-block, but over here there's nobody. It's great. It's fantastic. So yes, so the plan is tonight to go to Fairbrook Naze and bed down for the night with a shiny new bit of kit. If you've watched my last video when we camped at Swine's Back, I was having trouble pitching the mini peak in the wind. It'll go up. It's a great shelter. If it's calm conditions you can pitch it no problem and it'll stand, it won't fall over. But if the wind's blowing as you're pitching, it's just really difficult to get it taut, and it's been annoying me for ages. So after getting a look at a Trailstar for the first time in the flesh, I decided it was time I went and got one. So tonight I will be breaking out my Mountain Laurel Designs Trailstar for the first time, which could be interesting because I've only tried to pitch it once and it didn't go too well. But we'll get there. So yes, I'm looking forward to giving that a try, and I've also got a new cook system to play with as well. So yeah, lots of new toys. Right, onwards, northern edge of Kinder, and more loveliness. Speak to you in a bit. happy face. Trailstar, happy face. You've hopefully just seen a time lapse of me pitching the Trailstar for the first time, which with a bit of help from Paul was very easy, amazingly easy. And I put this up once in the garden the other day, but not properly, just a rough, very rough pitch, just the seam ceiling. And now it's actually up for real, and I've been inside it, and it's tight as a drum. That thing's not moving. I'm a happy bunny right now. I'm a very happy bunny. I'll see if I can bring you a bit closer. It's getting a bit windy. I've remembered to put the wind jammers on the back of the GoPro, so hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad today. So I'm using the inner from my Lux Mini Peak 2, which fits pretty much perfectly. I could do with moving it back a little bit. I'm kind of up onto that centre pole, but it's almost perfect fit. I was told that it would fit, so yeah, that's pretty much made to measure, to be honest. But I'm amazed at the amount of space in here. It's massive. The Mini Peak had a lot of space, but there's more real estate inside here because there's more behind that nest that I can use for storage, and then more down here for admin. And plus, because the way that the door's configured, or lack of door is configured, it keeps a lot of the rain and stuff out, so it's actually more usable space. I'm very happy indeed. I got a lot of help and advice from various people. Mainly, I have to give a big thank you to Tony Hobbs, Mr. Mountain Laurel Designs in the UK. I'll send Mountain Laurel Designs for the first time. I'll be getting told off from Tony for that because I haven't said it often enough. But yes, this is the Mountain Laurel Designs Trailstar, and as somebody who bought a lot of gear on a budget when I started wild camping, to have that is yeah, is a happy time. Right, anyway, enough yapping. I'm going to get some dinner on with my new cook system. I'll tell you about that in a minute too. Bye for now. Well, I hope you can see me. Trying to improve my studio lighting. End of a very, very, very good afternoon's walking on the beautiful mountainous mass of Kinder Scout in the glorious Peak District. Unfortunately, Adrian hasn't managed to meet up with us, and we can't find out why, because we have got zero phone signal here. We're pretty much right on the end of Fairbrook Naze, probably about 50 yards away, maybe 100 yards back from the end. Found a nice little flat, heathery plateau too. Well, when I say flat, I'm sort of on a lean, and I've got a feeling that I'm going to be meeting the centre pole at some point in the night. I could possibly get outside and maybe just reach under and pull my nest back a little bit, but it'll be alright. So I'm about to settle down for my first night in my new Mountain Laurel Designs Trailstar, and yeah, it feels really good in here. It feels really good. I'm certainly not missing the door, put it that way. We've just been sat on the end of Fairbrook Naze, looking down into the clough into Fairbrook, waiting to see if we could see Adrian coming up. We saw, I think, 2 people that looked like they were going down the clough by the power of the phone torch, which was quite disconcerting. But they got down to low level before they went out of sight, so we think they were okay. But yeah, they didn't look to be, well, all we could see was a very faint light flickering around, which seemed to be getting dimmer and dimmer as the battery of the device was dying. But they looked like they were well back towards civilization before the light disappeared altogether, so hopefully they got back okay.
and we just sat there, had a brew, had some tea on my new cook system, which I will talk a bit more about. But I think I've probably, hopefully, as long as it's come out, just shown you a little bit of the flame footage. Yeah, don't really like open fires. Well, I do like an open fire, but not on mountains. But just to have a meth's flame rather than the gas flame is very very therapeutic. I like it. Anyway, I'm gonna go and enjoy my first ever night in my Mountain Laurel Designs Trailstar. Bye for now. See you in the morning. Hopefully for a good sunset. Forecast is good and possibly an inversion. Fingers crossed.
Good morning. Time is about 6:30 in the AM. Obviously, isn't that just a scene of wonderfulness? So yeah, first night in the Trailstar. What did I think? I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, really fantastic. That thing of just sort of waking up, you know, part way through the night and just looking straight out, and I'm basically looking along the northern edge of Kinder. Well, I couldn't see much in the dark, but it was just, I don't know, just nice, just a very pleasant experience. Anyway, set my alarm for 5:30. I forgot to check the sunset times, and we've got absolutely no data at all up here, no coverage whatsoever. So I just took a guess, set my alarm for 5:30, and it was looking promising, looking very promising. There was a little bit of sort of soft clag, but I could see the A57, the Snake Pass. I could see it, and there was an actual, there was almost an inversion. You could see a clear snake of heavy fog following the chain, following the meander of the road. And I thought, this is going to be fantastic. We're going to get a good one this morning. And I got the GoPro ready to time lapse, and got the big camera out ready to go. And then that happened. It just came in heavy. So I mean, it's nice behind me, but there was a guy down there taking well, I was thinking he was hoping to take a sunset pic, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, another non-happening Peak District sunrise. I'm not complaining. I never do. This is nice, and it's kind of funny. I've kind of watched the clag come down. And we haven't got any really. It's very thin. I mean, you can probably just see the shelters through the mist. It's very thin here, but there's big heavy rolls of cloud coming over, and it just seems to be dropping as it's come past us and then just filling up the valley. But I'll tell you that, you can see that behind me. It's still very pretty. It's still very pretty indeed. So yeah, on the whole, a brilliant first night. To be fair though, it hasn't really been tested. We've had no wind. It was flat calm all night, no rain, total silence, literally total silence, apart from the odd plane flying in and out of Manchester. But in between that, it literally, we couldn't hear anything. Well, I couldn't hear anything, not at all. It was just bliss, pure bliss. Anyway, time for some brew and some breakfast. Oh, well, it seems like I may have spoken too soon. Oops. Spoken too soon. Hopefully you've just seen a time lapse of wow, that was lovely. Yeah, I obviously got my time wrong. I assumed the sun was already up and behind that cloud, and then it wasn't, clearly. wow, that was pretty special. And hopefully, I'm not sure if this GoPro will pick it up, but hopefully you can now see the sort of semi-inversion that I was talking about along the road there. It's just sort of meandering right through the base of the valley. Yeah, lovely, lovely. I almost went back and started making a brew, but just as I stopped recording, I kind of looked and I thought, hang on. All hope might not be lost. Is that right? I don't know. Whatever. Either way, I got the sunrise. That's just beautiful. Haha, fantastic. Right, it is now brew time. Bye for now.
So with the backdrop of the wonderful northern edge of the Kinder Plateau, I thought I would very quickly talk about my new cook system. Try and make sure this is in shot. So I've been using the Primus Etta pack light, which is really good and really efficient, but it's also really big and really heavy. And I wanted to look for an alternative solution, and it was actually last time I came out with Paul, I saw what he was using, and I was very, very impressed, and decided it was time that I lightened my load somewhat. So my big Primus Etta pack light has shrunk from being something that is like this big with a gas canister this big, and that is now my entire cook system. So I am very, very happy with that. Weighs total, including 100 mils of fuel, about 400 grams, if that, 350 grams, something like that. So this is the Alp Kit 900 titanium pot, bit of fuel there. The burner I've gone for is the Evernew, which is titanium, extremely lightweight, 34 grams I think for that burner. Very similar to the Trangia burner, but you have a second gallery of holes, much more efficient and much faster. It rattles on. It's a very, very nifty bit of kit. So there's my burner, flint and steel, and a lighter in there, another fuel bottle, and then the windshield off a guy on eBay called RedSpeedster. He does custom windshields. Just a bit of foil there to protect the ground and reflect a bit of heat back. And this is it. It's a bit charred on the inside now. It's been used a few times. But essentially, you send him the dimensions of your pot, your cooking pot, and he builds you a windshield to the dimensions of your pot, so it hugs it nice and tightly, and keeps as much wind out as possible, but also retains as much heat as possible. So that just sits nicely like that. And inside there is an integral pot stand. You've got 3 wires that pop out, which you can use as a pot stand. Now, RedSpeedster supplies his own burner, which is like a little sort of screw top pillbox or something with wadding inside and gauze on top, so it's spill proof, and you can fill that with fuel and essentially screw the lid on and leave it. With that burner, it works really, really well if you put your pot on that stand. But with the Evernew, because it's slightly taller, we had to think of an alternative solution, because this was then sitting too close to the top of the burner and it wasn't working very efficiently. And I tried 1 or 2 different ways of getting around it, and actually in the end Paul came up with the best solution that we found so far, which was just to stick a few holes through here, and then with tent pegs just create a pot stand with a couple of tent pegs, and that works really well. We're getting boil times under test conditions. I've gone from 8.5 minute boil times down to 4.5 minutes to a full rolling boil. That's in my kitchen with no wind and and just cold tap water. I think last night, in the elements, we were both getting around about the same. It was probably taking about 5 or 6 minutes for a full 500 ml, 600 ml of water to come to boil, which isn't bad considering the temperature and the wind, etc. It's still very, very good. very, very good indeed. So when that's fixed like that, your pot just drops in and you're essentially, it's all encased, so any flames that are licking up the side, all the heat's reflecting straight back into the pot, and it works ever so well. Great system. So I'm now going to put this to good use and make myself a break.
So we're packed up and heading out. I normally do a little thing from the site and show you leave no trace, but you know we don't leave any trace. Really good night, really good night. First time I've camped at Fairbrook Naze, and I'll definitely be back for more. It was really, really good spot. You can probably see behind me the iconic mushroom rock at the end. I think no better way to describe it. It looks a bit like a mushroom on the end of the pinnacle there. Really good night, really good. And I do love this northern edge of Kinder, you know. It's beautiful. It really is. It really is, in a bleak sort of way. So we don't know what we're walking into at the minute. Skies are fairly clear down that way, but we're heading up this way. We're going to head up to the western edge and go along past the downfall and back down Jacob's Ladder into Edale, and it looks like we're walking into Clag. Oh joy. So we're still on the northern edge. We're just coming up to the western corner, so you can just start seeing Manchester over there. Further back down the track we found a fire ring right on the path on the edge of the plateau, which we dismantled and kicked it away and stuff. We've just come up to the corner of the plateau now, about to head back along the western flank, and we came across this. A high gear Whirlwind 2 in all its glory, but it pretty much looks like it's been abandoned. There was a stuff sack with some bits of tent in it and a load of rubbish, Red Bull cans and wet wipes and stuff kicking around, but there's no gear inside it. There's just a couple of empty bottles and a repair kit and fag burns and stuff. Inside the bag there is a Go Outdoors leaflet, so they've obviously bought the tent, come up here, got stoned, burnt loads of holes in the bottom of the tent and then just abandoned it. But the dilemma we've got is, do we take it with us, or have they just gone for a walk and they've taken their rucksack with them? Can't really take it. That's the frustrating thing, because we don't know for definite it's abandoned. It doesn't look like it's been slept in last night. There's water in the bottom of it, but all we've done is chucked all the rubbish inside it, zipped it up. Hope the rangers come and get it, really. It's a tough call, because I don't want to leave it, but we don't want to nick it either if it is genuinely one that somebody's left for it to go for a walk. Seems a bit daft right by the path though, but ho hum. And they say legalise wild camping, that's what you'll get. Anyway, onwards. Manchester, western edge of Kinder, next stop, Downfall. So I've mentioned this before, we have Kinder Res down there. If I come round this corner, there's Mermaid's Pool down there, and on the edge of that rock there's the initials GK with a cross, and that's the initials of a man called George King, who was the founder of the Etherian Society. And the Etherians believe that we were put here by aliens, and at one day this year, 2015, apparently the world is going to end and the aliens are going to come back and rescue us. And this is one of the places where we're going to be rescued from, apparently. There's another one of these on Coniston Old Man. I think there's another one on Ben Nevis, Kilimanjaro. They're all over the world, these meeting points where the aliens are going to rescue us from. So have a Google, the Etherian Society. Might just save your life. Hello. So I've had to switch cameras. I've depleted 3 batteries on the GoPro, so I've had to switch to my Sony a6000, which I'm holding at arm's length. Even though it's only a little thing, it's quite heavy. So we're heading back along low-level path to Edale Booth. After a fantastic wander this morning, the weather that we thought we were going to walk into just cleared off ahead of us, and we've just enjoyed really calm conditions and stunning views all the way around. It's been fantastic. Yeah, really good day and night out. Fairbrook Naze was a great place to camp. Great views along that northern edge with a fantastic sunrise, which I'm really hoping that time lapse has come out this morning. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic day out again on Kinder, the wonderful mountainous mass of Kinder Scout. So yes, hopefully we're back at Edale very soon, because I'm ready to get home. I want some lunch and I'm knackered. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a good one for me. First time with the Trailstar, first time with the new cook system. Really pleased with both of them, and hopefully I'll be out again using them both very, very soon, and I hope you'll join me for that. Thanks very much for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, etc, etc. I'm always much appreciated, and I will hopefully speak to you all very, very soon. Take care now, bye bye.